Welcome back to Hardcore, where in the last episode we spawned in a new world, spent our first night hiding in a hole in the ground, and after a bit of an adventure we eventually made this beautiful starter base. And our main plan today is to sort out a steady supply of iron, and to try and upgrade some of this shoddy gear to some nice shiny blue stuff. Now I love this build to bits, I really do, but if you caught episode 1, you'll know there was one thing that was missing, an interior. It's looking a little bit bare at the moment. Shall we fix that? And the interior's all done, and as you can see, it's a pretty simple one. We've got a cozy little bed over here. We've got the leftovers from some murdering that we've done. I'm really not a fan of wandering traders. As well as more of the evidence over here with our shiny gold armor that we got in episode 1. We've got a bunch of chests knocking about. This is all of our storage. And over here, you can see that we've got some bookshelves with a little space in the middle here for something very important. So if we grab some materials, we've got some obsidian and the 2 diamonds that we found in the spruce village in episode 1 and a book. You know what we're going to make. Let's head over to the crafting table. We're going to make our first enchanting table. Something that's very important in a hardcore world. And we're going to pop that over here with our beautiful little bookshelf setup. And on to today's plans. I want to make an iron farm because that's going to be quite important over the course of this world. So the one problem I have with most iron farms is they're kind of giant and ugly and they take up loads of space outside. So I think we're going to change it up, and I've got a really good tutorial which I'll link when we make it for an underground iron farm. And then we're going to cover that up with a nice smelting house because, to be honest, it's kind of weird having furnaces in your bedroom. So what do we need to make an iron farm? Well, iron actually, for hoppers and stuff. And in the last episode, we found this mine shaft, which I was way too scared to go into without some decent armor or enchantments. So I'm thinking there'll be loads of iron down there, but before we do that, I think I want to get that armor and enchantments and use that new enchanting table that we made. So I think, let's go diamond hunting. Totally forgot how mind-numbing strip mining through deep slate is with iron tools. But it was kind of successful, I guess. I found a few diamond ore veins, but what I'd really like to do is somehow get Fortune 3 out of that enchanting table so we can make the most out of the diamonds that we can. And I actually have 2 diamonds at the house that I managed to find at a village in between episodes. So I'm going to mine this one and then grab the 2 diamonds here, and we're going to go make our first diamond pickaxe. And although I'm not quite at level 30 yet, I think we should have a look at the enchanting table, and I'm really hoping we'll be able to get Fortune 3. Here we go, the moment of truth. Fortune 2? Ugh, well it's better than nothing I suppose, and it will help us get some more diamonds out of the ones we found in the strip mine. So I think it's time to head off and try and get some more levels. And I'm thinking we make the most out of this village, and the villagers that we trapped inside the houses, just like this one over here. So I'm thinking that it's time to chop down this mess that I made. I haven't shown you this yet, but I think it's kind of ruining the aesthetic a little bit. So let's chop that down quickly, and then we can use some sticks and go and trade with a Fletcher. So now that's done, we have our 2 fletching tables and a bunch of logs. Let's go make ourselves a Fletcher. Now I think this house has 2 villagers in it, if I might be right. I am, yes. So this looks like the perfect one to go and make a couple of Fletchers. There we go. Right, let's get some trading done and boost those levels. Level 30 acquired, and we even managed to get a bow. Let's go enchant that pickaxe. Now I'm ready to enchant this diamond pick, but I thought after getting a little bit enraged earlier about the fact I could only get Fortune 2, I'd have a little play around with this enchanting table. And here's something that I didn't know, and I don't know if you know this as well, but the iron pick will give me Fortune 3. Now I thought any of the same tool would just give you the same enchantment, but apparently not. So what I'm thinking is actually it's better off to enchant the iron pick so we can get Fortune 3 so I can go and get the most out of those diamonds. So for the first time in this series, let's enchant an item. Now it might only be an iron pick, but it's got Fortune 3 on it at least. Minecraft's a funny old game, isn't it? And although we don't have 30 levels anymore, I thought while we're here, it might be worth us having a go and seeing what bow enchantment we can get. So power 1, that's not really going to do much, but you know what, it's better than nothing, so let's go for it. So now we've got a semi-decent bow and a Fortune 3 pick, let's go get those diamonds. For the moment of truth, how many did we get? 12, that's not too bad. We should be able to get a couple of bits of diamond gear for that. Now I think chest plate is probably the most important, that's 8 diamonds, and then maybe some boots for 4. Time to go and hit that mine shaft, I think. So I arrived in the mine shaft and saw this zombie welcoming me with a wooden plank. I went to shoot him and he didn't seem to fancy that much. He eventually came back down and I shot him in the back of the head. Pretty quickly after that, spotted a cave spider spawner. I'm not sure I want to go too close to that, but thought light it up quickly, and one spider came and attacked me. It did manage to catch me with the poison with my expert sword skills, but we survived that just about. Then found another cave spider, so that's the original one. This is the second one, look how close, definite XP farm potential. Found some diamonds, stone diamonds, shame we don't have silk touch because they're pretty rare. Went off, started gathering some iron, and then came across a chest. It was rubbish, to be honest. There was nothing good in there, but a name tag, that's decent. Spotted some more diamonds eventually, and with the Fortune 3, got quite a few out of those. Expertly dealt with this zombie, then I expertly dealt with this zombie, but I didn't quite expertly deal with this zombie who hit me from behind, but I got him eventually. Came across another chest, again it was rubbish, but got some glowberries and a golden apple. Found another chest, again it was rubbish, but more glowberries, so that's pretty decent. Went around the corner and found what I really didn't want to have to deal with, a creeper, but it turned out they were stuck behind the rail, so managed to swipe them to death quite comfortably. Another one came around the corner and I thought it'd be the same, but they did seem to be able to walk over the rail, so that left me a bit confused. But after gathering tons of iron and struggling to find my way out, we went back to the house, where I can now show you what we got from our little trip to the mine shaft. If I take you inside, it's all stored in this barrel just up here, and the most exciting bit of all, 15 diamonds. So I'm thinking we should definitely make ourselves those final 2 pieces of diamond gear. Much better. And what else did we get, I hear you ask? Well, we got some glowberries, which are going to come in very useful for some decorating to make things look nice and pretty. We got another golden apple to add to our collection, and some more gold so we can make some more of those, which is going to come very useful in a hardcore world. We got loads of iron, which is going to come in very useful for our next job today, as well as the rails and the name tag. And these are going to be needed because we're going to be making an iron farm. And we need the name tag to name a zombie, and we need the rails because we're going to be moving a couple of villagers over from across the river over there. And as I said before at the start of the episode, we're going to be making an underground iron farm. Now this is an amazing tutorial which I'll link in the description. It's so easy to follow, I've made this a ton of times before and it just works perfectly. And where we want to put it, well, this disgusting mess over here of a wheat farm is going to go because that's the perfect spot for our iron farm underground and a smelting house on top of it. So before we get on with the smelting house, step 1 is the iron farm. Shall we get cracking with that then? And there you have it. We now have a fully functioning iron farm right in the middle of a wheat field, just where you'd expect it. So if we hop down here, you'll see the golems are burning. I should feel a bit bad about this, shouldn't I? But yes, I left this running for about 40 minutes, and as you can see, it's churning out iron really well. So we're not going to have to worry about iron for the rest of this world. Anything we need, we just come and grab from here. And if we hop down here, I've even made a little viewing platform for our pleasure to see the villagers getting scared of Big Nige, the zombie. They do make a fair bit of racket when they die though. But yeah, this is a really simple farm to make, but it was created by someone who's a lot cleverer than me, called Neamature, whose name I've probably completely butchered, so apologies. But make sure you check out the link in the description and it will tell you how to do it. And yes, I know, it's disgusting and ugly down here, but let's be honest, no one's going to see it. And we're going to make a beautiful build up above. And to do that, we're going to need a few resources. Oh, that's very close. That's better. And in here, I have actually started putting the resources together. This chest is full of stuff we need for the build, and this is kind of full of stuff we need for the build. But there's a few things that I don't really have enough of yet. So let's quickly run off and grab the bits we need. And amongst other things, that includes a trip to our local tiger forest to get some spruce, a bit of a dip in the water for some clay, a trip back to spawn to collect some jungle wood, some mud from the local mangrove swamp, and finally dismantling this horror show so we can build our smelting house. And it's all done. We have our gorgeous smelting house all complete. And if I take you down the path which we've extended from our starter base up on the hill, it takes you all the way up to our lovely new building to the front door. And as you can see, we've kept a similar block palette and build style. So we've got the sandy roofs and the sprucey trim with a nice big peaky roof at the top. And on the side, you can see we've got our blacksmith working area. And oh my goodness, do I love this area so much. This is the best part of the build in my opinion. As you can see, we've got some of the ores knocking about. They would have that in this type of environment, I think. And we went over to the village just across the river, which you could just see poking over the grass verge there. And we managed to get a Silk Touch librarian. And that came in really handy to get a bunch of different ores. And then coming inside, you've got the furnace sort of area here with the lava in there. That goes right up to a chimney at the top poking out the roof. You've got the anvils, which we can just flex and use for decorations now, thanks to the iron farm. And we've got the different stuff that they've been smelting out here, the axes and the leggings. Basically, these are just the old iron gear that was completely dead, basically. And over there used to be an armor stand with some armor on there, but a creeper kind of blew up in this area just as I came out of that door a little while ago, and I had to rebuild the whole thing. I was not happy. And on the floor, I've tried to put some of the deep slate and a bunch of coarse dirt just to make this like really trodden in, make it look like it's a working area for this type of environment. And if I take you over to the front door, a nice little interior that we've done. And this is where we're going to do all the smelting. So we've got loads of blast furnaces, smokers, all that sort of jazz. More of the ores and loads of storage area so we can smelt all of our ores over here. And just down the ladder, we've got the iron farm where you can hear the golems burning away, and they're still pretty loud, aren't they? But while we've been building away up the top, we've managed to gather tons of iron, and this is going to last us for ages. That feels like a good place to leave the episode for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye!